This is for the Latinos who are going home to their families who voted for Trump. Go savage. That penne that mommy's been cooking for hours, throw a bucket of sugar in there. Your uncle starts talking about Trump, you tell everybody that you found out he was on the D-list version of the Epstein list. Call it a Guantanamera list. Yeah, that Trump-loving abuela, go up to her room and grab one of her batas and one of her wigs. You dress up as La Llorona and perform some santeria, some brujeria. Somebody's always sick, take that little bottle of Vicks, scoop that out, you replace it con Crico. Con Crico. And you know that the other always shows up with that new burgundy hair color? Give her a new bottle, pero inside tiene red dye y cloro. We ain't playing. Our cousins that love to play dominoes, hide the dominoes. Pero take one, put it in your knuckle y dale un cocotazo a each one. Mira, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, cante pendejo. Go savage. Go savage. Everybody's on the naughty list this year.
I mean, it was the attitude and the humor for me. Everybody's on the naughty list this year. Boy, oh boy. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So, credit goes to the creators in these videos. Guys, we all know majority of Latinos voted for Trump. Some of them have had their families deported and other stories and all of that. So, this video, I'll just let it play. And just say Latinos for Trump. Some of them that voted for him, why they voted for him, and some of them that do not support, why they are against it, and some of them that actually regretted their votes, voted for him in 2024 and regret their votes. Guys, I will let this video play and I'll see you at the end of the video.
A lot of self-hating Latinos on this app, like Latinos for Trump. And obviously they think they're white, they try to cater to white Republicans. They're desperate for acceptance, which, they'll never get. And I find it very interesting because never once have I seen a white Republican, repost their videos or share their videos or like their videos or leave a comment saying that they support them. Never. If you go to their comment section, all you're gonna see is other self-hating Latinos. It's like a little circle jerk of self-hate. They're so desperate for acceptance that they seek validation within themselves. If you don't believe me, go to any of their videos and just go look at the comments. And I'll take it even a step further. You guys remember Tortas Manantial, that Mexican restaurant in Phoenix that came out saying that they were MAGA and now they're going bankrupt? I have not seen a single white Republican or a MAGA content creator come out and say, you know what, let's go support Tortas Manantial, let's go take them out of bankruptcy. Not one. Tortas Manantial is pro-MAGA, but MAGA is not pro-Tortas Manantial. I just find it very interesting how the people that they're so desperate to be accepted by do not care about them at all. It's such a bizarre inferiority complex, almost like Stockholm Syndrome. But there you have it, guys. I have not seen a single white Republican support any of these Latinos for Trump. But anyways, let me know what you guys.
Latina for Trump, and I support mass deportations. It's not that hard to go through the legal process. My grandma came here illegally, but she married my grandpa and they did the whole process. So at the end of the day, we legal. I'm a Latina for Trump and I'm a no sabo because we're in America and we speak English here. I mean, I can't really communicate with my grandma, but that's on her. That's on her. That bitch has been here for 30 plus years and she still doesn't know English. I'm a Latina for Trump and I support the ICE raids. At schools, at graduations, I don't give a fuck. Those kids are criminals. And I'm happy that we're no longer using our tax money on giving them free lunch because fuck them kids. Unless they're a fetus, because I'm a good Christian and pro-life. Pro vida. I'm a Latina for Trump because I'm broke. And he promised cheaper gas and groceries. And don't come saying, oh, everything is more expensive now. No, bitch. Tell me why the gas in my city is 5 cents less than it was last week. Then I went to 7-Eleven and picked up my daily Coke and hot Cheetos, and it was 20 cents less. So, bitch, if you want to be blind and ignorant, be blind and ignorant. Because Trump is over here working hard and he's already made a lot of great decisions for our country. And if you don't want to see that, that's on you, boo. So God bless America.
This is the young lady whose father is terminally ill, but he's been detained by ICE and is going to be deported. His request for compassionate release has been denied. However, she voted for Trump, and she posted this apology video explaining why she voted the way that she did and how she now has learned that she was wrong for feeling that way. Originally, when people learned that she voted for Trump after she posted the GoFundMe for her dad, her defense was, well, I wasn't paying attention to what he said about immigration. I was only paying attention to what happened with RFK, and I believed in his Make America Healthier policies. However, in this video, she says that she reflected deeply and asked herself, why did you really vote for Trump? And she came to the realization that it was because of her own internalized racism and internalized anti-Blackness. Specifically, she said, it wasn't just one decision that I made, but it was an accumulation of decisions that have happened over time. She went back to explaining that when she had her first child, she didn't even want to teach that child Spanish, that living in South Florida, that she had come to believe that she was one of them, that she was not actually an immigrant, that she had assimilated into being white, or the child of immigrants rather. And she also said that being around so many Republicans, that she had come into this normalization of cruelty, which I found very interesting. So you know that it was being cruel to other families to vote the way that it was, but there was a normalization around that kind of cruelty because it was people who weren't you. So my friend Michelle talks about this idea that we were all outside when the reign of white supremacy came down, that everyone is affected by white supremacy, and that's why we end up having internalized racism. And that's why even people who look like me, we have to do our own work to make sure that we're not being anti-Black. That's the same reckoning that we need with other POC communities right now. It's the same thing that I was talking about when I said, if you're Black, you are going to be working for the liberation of people who are anti-Black, who are also sexist, who are so homophobic, who are so many other things that are detrimental to many of our identities. But this is exactly the reckoning that we need. And so while I understand that people are continuing to bash her in the comments for the decision that she made, I think that her coming back to the post after doing that work in herself, and there's more work to go. Like, it's not done. She's not finished. I looked at some of her other posts. She's still like posting for Coke. Girl, you're Mexican. But there's still other work that has to be done. But I do think this is the first and very vital step for her to not lash out at people who are criticizing her, but to instead go internal and say, what did I do? And why did I do that?
Unfortunately, it's more common than you think. So Tony Vara actually just did a video on this, but it's very common for Latinos that are from Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua to be Trumpies. And the reason for that being is they usually associate leftist politics with dictatorship regimes. So when Democratic politicians talk a lot about socialist issues or something that could come off as socialism, they get freaked out. Or another big factor besides political scare is the fact that a lot of them tend to be religious. Catholicism is an inherent part of Latino cultures all over Latin America, so it's actually very common for Latinos to base off of their vote off of conservative issues such as abortion and gay marriage. I think I saw a comment on another video talking about a similar issue saying like, oh, your parents are just going to ignore the fact that, the current president is a rapist, a pedophile, blah, blah, blah. I would like to counter your argument with this thought. There is an ongoing issue with Latino families protecting predators within the family dynamic. So unfortunately, do you really think it's surprising that they wouldn't care if the current president is one? They won't even kick out predators within their own family. But the irony of it all is that my mom got political asylum because she's a refugee and my dad was undocumented most of my life. There is this phenomena that once immigrants come into this country and they finally get citizenship, then suddenly they don't care about the rest. They want to assimilate into American culture, which is in their eyes white culture, so bad they are willing to screw everyone else so they can get ahead. And the irony is that that's never going to happen. It's unfortunately very common for Latino families, especially if you come from a religious background.
Me that you voted for President Trump in 2024. Do you regret that decision? ¿Te arrepientes esa decisión?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you regret that decision?
That's because it's nothing that's true. It's not true. He say he go to catch the delincuentes. Criminals, yeah. And right now, he don't follow to criminals. He go to specific to Latino people. The DHS come specific to me and catch to me. Not other people. Because don't care to other people. Specific Latino people.
Latinos that voted for him, you will never, and I repeat, never be white. You will never be accepted as one of them, and you certainly are not exempt from the racism that is this racist ass regime. When that lady put in her post, alligators' lives matter, and she mentioned a number, that number being 65 million. Do you know how many Latinos are in the United States? Approximately 65 million, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Approximately 60 plus million people. So guess what? They weren't just talking about the illegal immigrants, because data actually says that there are 10 to about 12 illegal, undocumented folks in the United States. They're talking about you. They're talking about people like us, because we are not exempt from the racism that is rooted in what these people believe in, and frankly, the foundation of this country that was built on the stealing of land from indigenous people by immigrants that came here from Europe. But when you think that you are better than an immigrant because your family came here the right way, remember that this land was actually stolen from day one. So when you think that you are better because you're second generation or third generation because you've been an American for a longer amount of time, I hope that you never have to experience a time where you have to flee a country for your own safety or that of your family. So when you think that you are somehow not going to be affected by any of this, when you think that you don't have to care, what happens if you are next? What happens if it's someone that you personally know? And I know already, because we've seen it. We've seen the clips of people that supported him, diehard supporters that are now crying on the news because their family members are getting deported and they thought that they would never be impacted. You see, in this country, so many people lack empathy. They are unwilling or somehow unable to think beyond themselves, and then we run into these situations. Wake up. The proximity to whiteness isn't serving you, and it's not serving the community. You have to recognize what is happening, because ultimately they're not just going after criminals. And all of this is connected to so many things that impact our community and frankly are holding us back, like anti-blackness and colorism and internalized racism. And if you think that these are woke words, look them up and you will realize what exists, what has existed in our community for a very long time. And I say all of this because there are so many people that have fallen to the false prophets of the world, and I need us as a community to come together and wake up. So if you're wanting more of this type of content, follow for more, because we need to have this conversation.
You know why some Hispanics vote red? Because literally the Hispanic culture as a whole is super conservative. The Hispanic community literally threw away their non-binary inclusion name Latinx because they knew that that has nothing to do with Latino and Latina culture, because the masculine and feminine is literally imbued into the language. And anybody who knew half of a little bit of Hispanic culture would have known that Latinx was not going to fly, because Latinos are mostly conservatives. The only reason why they vote blue or Democratic is solely for the topic of immigration, because a lot of them will have a family member that they know is low-key here illegally. But if you take away the immigration debate, the Hispanic community as a whole goes full red, unless they're like second or third generation and they're not fully in touch with their actual like Chicano or Latina roots.
And that is so true. Latinos for Trump, the strong reason is they say is family values and religion. Because many Latino families are Christians or Catholics, and they believe in traditional family structure. They believe in faith, they believe in discipline, and some of them feel that modern politics goes against their beliefs. And they are also like Trump's message of hard work and business success, resonates with them, because many of them run small shops, restaurants, construction companies, cleaning services, hair salons, trucking businesses. And they say that Trump's policy helped them to grow because they want to keep their money. They don't want to pay more taxes. And many of them are saying that they came to, the US to work hard and not depend on the government. Their parents taught them to earn and not to wait for welfare. And for them, Trump's idea of the American dream, work hard, build something, be proud of what you created, felt close to their hearts. But now they are saying they wanted respect, and now look at what they are having. They are having deportations all around. Guys, do you think they are regretting their votes? Let me know in the comment section. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.